In this video, I want to tell you about what I think is the best innovation that movie theaters have created in the last 20 years. Let's jump right in. Hi there, my name is Ruben and I'm an expert in data and decision making, and I also help companies with strategy. And as you can imagine, strategy is really a framework in which decisions are made and where data plays a role. They're all interconnected. And I'm always fascinated by why some companies perform better than others. What's the difference in industries? Why some businesses do very dumb things. And I love movies. So I go to the movies almost every month, sometimes twice a month. During the lockdown, the movie theaters were shut down. This was a big issue. So they just opened back up here in Vancouver a couple months ago. And I was watching the movie with a friend and we both commented on the same thing. And it was all triggered by the same advertisement that was going on. You know how there's previews in the movies? Well, there was a preview going on as to this movie we were watching because it had the latest technology. It's called Laser Ultra, at least here in Canada. And I don't really understand it despite watching a 2-minute advertisement on it. But it's supposed to be surround sound. It was supposed to be 3D, higher quality on the screen itself. And the reason why I say I don't understand it is I don't understand what the difference is between this and regular 3D or regular surround sound or regular screen. I'm not sure. But I got us thinking, what is the best innovation that movie theaters have created in the last 20 years? To understand that, let's start by understanding the strategy of movie theaters. So for the long time, and this is still the case in some chains, the strategy was really to cram as many people as possible in the theater itself, which is why you had really small seats. They were really crammed. Where you had to get to your seat, you had to step on the toes of 10 other people. And then once people were in the theater, you wanted to sell them food. Typically popcorn, drinks, hot dogs, nachos, candy. These items are all high margin, high profit items. Popcorn sells for whatever, $10, $12. It maybe costs $2, $3 to make. So that was a strategy for a long time. And if you look at the revenue structure of movie theaters, it made sense. Tickets were a significant portion of the revenue, followed by food and followed by other things. Theaters renting out the rooms for events. However, that strategy has started to change because less people are going to the theater. Naturally, what people felt was not only are movie ticket prices increasing. In the US, it hovers around $10. Here in Canada, I would peg it around $20 now to go to the movies when you include 3D and all the other add-ons or special things. So all of a sudden you were paying more, every month, every year to go to the movies for what seemed like a very poor experience. You were crammed, it was uncomfortable. You may like popcorn, but is that enough to offset everything else? After all, you can watch movies at home, on your couch, with a pretty good TV in terms of quality and sound, maybe even quite large, 50, 60, 70 inches, and of course with your own food. So theaters realized that their strategy of cramming as many people as possible was not really sustainable over the long run. And here we come at the innovation itself. So to offset everything that's changing in the movie industry, without even talking about online streaming, Netflix, Disney, and so on, movie theaters decided to add what perhaps was, just another thing to try, just another checklist, but they added reclining seats. And, if you look at a picture of a movie theater, you can now see theaters that are all reclining seats. So it's not just a few seats, the entire theater is reclining seats. And I think this is the best innovation in 20 years. This makes movies way more comfortable. It makes going to the movie theater an amazing experience. It's easier to actually eat your food because you have more space. Some of these chairs, reclining chairs, actually have tables where you can actually place your food. And this, a non-technological choice, is perhaps the innovation that consumers feel the most. And that is the lesson in the video today. You see, for a long time, and it was still there a couple months ago when I was watching this movie theaters are talking about technology, surround sound, screen quality, 3D. But I think the reality is most consumers don't care about this. In fact, most consumers, I don't think, can even tell the difference between regular surround sound and some kind of advanced surround sound and some kind of like laser ultra surround sound. It's good enough. That is, the screen is big enough. Can it be a higher quality? Perhaps. The same reason where, if you're watching 1080 and you have a 4K, some consumer segments might care enough to want to upgrade, but is that enough to really justify the experience? In my opinion, I don't think it is. The way movies get shown, the big screens, the quality, the surround sound is good enough. Trying to justify it doesn't really make a big difference. However, adding the reclining seats makes a huge difference. It makes the experience completely different, really enjoyable, and really quite comparable at home. And the other thing thing we're seeing with movie theaters is they're doubling down on two things through reclining seats. They're doubling down on a better viewing experience and better food. We talk about the better viewing experience, the reclining seats. They are also adding things like 19 plus, or I guess, adult only movie theaters where no children are allowed. So you won't have, crying children. You're not going to have teenagers talking. Also, that allows for the serving of alcohol. So now you can go to the movie theater, you can get some alcohol. So those are all contribute to a better viewing experience. Again, comparable to what you might get at home. It's comfortable in your seat. You get alcohol. There's no teenagers, no children. Big win. The second thing that movie theaters are doing is they're doubling down on food. So popcorn, drinks, hot dogs are great. Very classic movie theater experience. But I'm also starting to see movie theaters who are adding full feature kitchens. So now you can get tacos, you can get all kinds of like hand food, right? Like wings, sandwiches, burgers, and the food is quite good. It's actually not bad. So now you have the ability to sell higher priced food, which can also be, high margin in a way that it contributes to a better viewing experience. And I think this is fantastic. This is the right way for movie theaters to evolve, to be able to compete with streaming. And now it's even harder, right? We look at Disney, for example, they released Black Widow and it was released simultaneously at movie theaters and online. So that consumers have legitimate options between going to the movie theater or watching it online. So movie theaters need to find a way to make that experience more enjoyable. And really, the lesson at the end of all this is that innovation isn't about what's possible. For movie theaters, what's possible is to somehow improve surround sound, to improve the quality of the screen, to improve the way 3D looks. This is all possible. This is all technological possible. But innovation is about what the customer wants. And the customer at the movie theater, they want a better viewing experience. They want to be more comfortable when they're watching a movie. They don't want to be crammed into a seat, and they want better food. That all contributes to enjoying the movie more. Is a better 3D, a better surround sound going to make a huge difference compared to better food and comfortable chairs? I don't think so. The latter is much more impactful on the customer experience and more impactful on the business bottom line because customers will be more willing to come back. And that's all I have for today. So be able to subscribe to the channel for more breakdowns, more strategy comparisons, more ideas about decisions and data. Also make sure to like, subscribe to the video, everything you can do here on YouTube. You look for those buttons somewhere around your screen. There's also going to be some related videos. They're going to play after this video is almost done. And in the description below, you're going to find a few links. First is my book, The Data Mirage. It's been out now for a few months. It's doing quite well. So you can check that out. It's all about how companies can make the most out of their data and get more insights from your numbers. The second thing is my weekly newsletter, The Growth Needle. I share similar ideas like this one, usually, weeks in advance before it gets created into a video or a blog post. So you get some of my latest thinking and approaches in an email format once a week. And then the third link is Twitter. I've been sharing more short ideas, insights, quick tidbits on Twitter. So that's a great place to engage with me there. As always, in the comments below, let me know what you thought about the video, questions, comments, reactions, and we'll talk next week.